History often disguises its worst crimes as accidents, weather, bad harvests, unavoidable tragedy. But in British India during the Second World War, millions of people did not die because food was unavailable. They died because food was deliberately withheld. This was the Bengal Famine of 1943. Bengal, a fertile region in eastern India, had fed itself for centuries. Rice fields stretched across the delta, sustained by rivers and monsoons. Even during previous shortages, local systems and trade networks had prevented mass starvation. But in 1943, those systems collapsed, not because the land failed, but because imperial policy did. When Japan captured Burma in 1942, British authorities feared a possible invasion of India. In response, they launched what was called the denial policy. Rice stocks were confiscated. Boats were destroyed to prevent their use by an invading force. Transportation was crippled. Food that could have moved from surplus regions to deficit areas was frozen in place. At the same time, Britain was fighting a global war. Grain was being shipped out of India to support British troops and to stockpile reserves elsewhere in the empire. Bengal's warnings were ignored. Local officials pleaded for relief. The colonial government delayed, debated, and minimized. Inflation soared. Rice prices multiplied. What had once been affordable became unreachable overnight. By early 1943, people began to starve in the streets. Farmers who had grown rice could no longer afford to buy it. Mothers sold jewelry, tools, even their clothing to survive. Children wasted away in front of relief centers that had no food to give. Disease followed hunger. Cholera, malaria, and dysentery tore through weakened bodies. As the death toll climbed into the millions, British officials continued to deny responsibility. Winston Churchill, then Prime Minister, dismissed Indian suffering as exaggerated. When asked to divert food shipments, he questioned why Gandhi had not yet died if conditions were truly so severe. Relief was delayed not by scarcity, but by indifference. By the end of 1943, an estimated 2 to 3 million people were dead. Some historians argue the number may be higher. Entire villages disappeared. Families collapsed. A generation was lost. Yet after the war, the famine was quietly reclassified, not as a crime, but as a natural disaster. No trials followed. No reparations were paid.